Alright, hey guys, so if you are a stepmom, I have a question for you. Do you ever feel like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't? Do you ever feel confused about when to step up and when to step back and what your role should be? Do you ever feel like your whole life is kind of outside of your control and dictated by a legal agreement between two people and you are not one of those two people? Do you ever feel confused about your role within your family? Do you ever feel like being a stepmom is just way harder and way more complicated than you thought it was going to be? Chances are, if you're watching this video, something that I just said resonated with you. And if it did, be sure to give this video a like and let me know what really hit home in the comments below, because I have talked to hundreds and hundreds of stepmoms over the past few years, and all of those things are common themes that have come up. Now, in this video, I'm going to share with you 6 habits that if you implement into your life will improve your step family life. Now, before we dive into this video, do me a favor and click subscribe and the little bell there so you get an alert whenever I release a video, because I'm going to be releasing videos every week moving forward. Did you do it? Okay, awesome. Now let's dive into the video. Now, the first thing that stepmoms who are thriving or good stepmoms or secure stepmoms practice is empathy. Don't roll your eyes either, okay? The ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes is so key when it comes to step family life, okay? So you know your situation, you know how you feel, but have you ever taken a moment to really think about how your stepkids are experiencing things? Or what about your husband's ex? Or what about your husband? Have you ever stopped and put yourself in their shoes? Because the thing is, and something that I have learned in my step family situation, is that 2 people can experience the very same situation in 2 very different ways. We all see the world through a different lens. Do yourself a favor and stop and think about your stepkids. How do you think they're perceiving things? Are they experiencing loyalty issues with their mom? Do they feel like they are being torn between 2 different homes? Are they unsettled because they're packing up and moving between homes every other week? Do they feel like this new woman has come into their life and has changed everything? Do they feel confused between 2 different homes and 2 different sets of rules and the expectations? Are they exposed to any of the conflict between the parents? Now think about your husband's ex-wife. She may be struggling with the fact that another woman is looking after her kids. She may be grieving the life that she thought she would have had. She may be unhappy with how her life has turned out post-divorce. She may be struggling as a single mother. She may be struggling with seeing her ex-partner have the life that she thought she was going to have with another woman. She may be questioning your intentions and wondering what this new woman is all about. She may feel insecure and jealous and lost. She may be feeling a lot of things that you haven't taken time to really think about. Now let's talk about your husband for a second. This guy has to keep his ex-wife happy. He has to keep you happy. He's probably worried about his kids and how they're adapting to things. There's a lot of pressure on the husbands. He may be stressed about the financial responsibilities that come with the divorce. He may be struggling because as much as he wants to advocate for you and his new family, he doesn't want to stir up conflict with the ex. He may be worried about his kids and how they're perceiving his new life and fear that they think that maybe he's moving on and starting a new life without them. My husband has told me about a lot of these struggles, and honestly, this list, it comes from him. Taking some time to really consider everyone else's perspective can go such a long way, especially when you're in a high conflict situation. You don't have to agree with them. This is not saying that they're right. This is their experience. Think about what is going on through their lens. The second tip is you need to make sure you continue to do you. As stepmoms, we have this misconception that we need to drop everything and we need to be all in and we need to be the best stepmom ever. So we tend to not schedule social events when we have the kids. We tend to kind of stop doing the things that we love. Do not do that, okay? Honestly, it'll backfire. You don't need to be there all the time when your stepkids are there. You can go out for coffee with girlfriends. You can have a girls' night. You can go to that yoga class. In fact, I think that you should. When my husband and I first got together, I think it was about a year and a half in, right over here, we had a disagreement about how I was feeling in my role as a stepmom. And I said to him, I said, I don't do any of the things that I used to do anymore. I used to go to yoga. I used to go to coffee shops. I used to go running. And I don't do any of those things. And he looked at me and he said, Jamie, no one asked you to stop doing those things. You did that all on your own because you felt like you needed to be here and you don't. I've got this. Your partner was fine before you came around, and he can handle things when you go out and continue to do your own thing. When you're doing your own thing, you are filling your cup. And honestly, I know it's corny, I know everyone says it, but you cannot take care of anyone else unless you are taking care of yourself. So keep doing you, okay? Or you're gonna end up being one of those grumpy, resentful stepmoms. The next thing is, I think that it's so important to have a proactive mindset. Think about your stepfamily stresses for a second. I am willing to bet that you and your husband, or you and your husband's ex-wife, or whoever you're thinking about right now, your biggest stressor, it has happened more than once. It's pretty cyclical. You know what is going to trigger your husband's ex. You know what's going to cause problems with you and your partner. You know what's going to trigger your stepkids because it's happened several times. So instead of just waiting for it to happen, I think it's so important to be proactive with your reactions, okay? So think about that stressor, think about the way that you have reacted in the past, which probably, if it's happening over and over again, isn't working anymore, and decide how you're going to react ahead of time. So this way, when it happens, you don't have that emotional reaction. You don't feel like you've been punched in the gut. You don't respond irrationally. You knew how you were going to respond. You've already decided, and you're calm, cool, and collected, and you deal with it as it comes up. I cannot tell you how effective this has been for me and all of the other stepmoms that I've worked with. Get your reactions planned ahead of time, and you are going to feel far more in control of your stepfamily life. You knew it was going to happen, you planned for it, there's no emotional reaction, you don't let it derail your day, you just react, you deal, and you move on. The fourth thing is acceptance. You need to accept that your husband's ex-wife is probably always going to act the way she's acting right now. Her values and her mindset and her perspective probably is not going to change. You need to accept that as a blended family or a step family dynamic, you're not going to function the same way as a first family does, okay? It's just not possible. So you need to get rid of that fairy tale perception of what family is supposed to look like, because it's not yours. You need to accept that your life is going to be dictated by a custody schedule and this agreement that you had no part in creating. You need to accept that you cannot control how other people act. The only thing you can control is your own reactions. A key part of being a thriving stepmom is accepting all of these things and not fighting them. A thriving stepmom knows that everyone in life has their challenges. Everyone in life is dealing with some sort of crap. This is yours. The fifth thing is you need to make your marriage a priority. Think about your marriage for a second, okay? How many times have you been in an argument over your stepkids or your husband's ex? Or your co-parenting agreement, or disagreeing about how you're going to run your home and structure and rules and routines and bedtime and all of those things? How many times have you been in an argument about those things? Honestly, guys, I think it's so important for stepmoms to remember that your marriage needs to be your number one priority. So sure, you're going to have these disagreements, but what I really, really encourage you to do is ask yourself, is this worth the turmoil that is causing in my marriage? Because your husband is the reason why you're a stepmom. You are a stepmom because you fell in love with this man, not because you decided you wanted to go help raise someone else's kids, okay? So when your marriage is not at its best, you are less able to deal with the extra stressors. You are more likely to feel resentful and stressed out over the curveballs that come your way. You need to focus on your marriage, your communication skills, your date night, and looking at the big picture, okay? So I just said it before, but I really want to reiterate this point. Number 6, you gotta play the long game. Try not to sweat the small stuff, okay? Half of the stuff that, not even half, most of the stuff that we're worried about doesn't even matter. Your stepkids are gonna forget their belongings at their mom's. You're probably gonna have to go pick some stuff up. Your husband's ex might do a schedule change that derails everything for you and really impacts your schedule and things that you had planned. Transition day, when the kids come back from their mom's house, it's probably going to be chaotic. You're probably going to have different parenting values from the kid's mom. Kids are going to leave dishes downstairs. Kids are going to leave dishes in their room. You're going to find wrappers shoved into the couch, and it's going to make you wild. You're probably going to fall victim to an unfair legal system. Is it fair? No. Is it probably gonna happen? Yeah. Is it frustrating? Really freaking frustrating. But before you freak out, I really want you to think about the big picture, okay? Ask yourself, will this matter in 5 minutes? Will this matter in 5 days? Will this matter in 5 years? All right? And honestly, guys, I ask myself that question all the time. You have to really keep perspective and ask yourself, does this matter? Will everything work itself out? Is it worth the time and energy that I'm spending on it? I've said this so many times before, but your time and energy is a limited resource. You are never gonna get it back, okay? So be sure you're spending it wisely. The kids are going to grow up. Child support is going to end. Your involvement with the ex is going to become minimal to non-existent. If you need to count down the days, count down the days. You just have to let time do its thing. I know some of those tips seem a little fluffy, guys. I know you might be thinking to yourself, Jamie, you don't know what I'm going through. You can shove all these fluffy tips at me all you want, but trust me, I do. I know what you're going through. I know how hard it is. I know how it feels when something happens and you feel like you've been punched in the gut, or you can't think about anything other than your step-family stressors. I get it. I know. I've experienced it. I work with hundreds of other stepmoms who have experienced it. And guys, it sucks. But here's the thing. You can't change how other people act. The only thing you can change are your own reactions. So if you want change in your step-family life, you need to start making change, okay? It is entirely on you. If you are ready for that change, if you are like, you know what, I am sick of feeling the way that I'm feeling right now, I have a free ebook for you. I have the secret to improving your step-family life. Download it, implement even half of the tips, and honestly, I promise you, you will see change in your mindset and in your step-family life. That's it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified when a new video is released, and I am going to see you in the next one.